Welcome to the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host, Mr. KyleHeath, aka Kyle Heath. This is episode 18 of the podcast, and if you're new here, this is the show where we do esports and personalities, gaming industry related news, new and upcoming games, and some technology and innovation. And yeah, so how you been doing lately, Kyle? What
Uh,
have you been up to?
I've been doing pretty good, man. Trying to think. I was trying to think beforehand what I had played this week. Um, I can't think of too much. I'm gonna be honest. I've really been in the editing den most of the week, just working on content for people. So it's been
Well, what have you been working on? Because I
grinding.
know you got a what do you call it? You got a Fiverr account.
Yeah, yeah. I have a Fiverr account for editing. I worked on a little like Valorant like edit for my boy Preware. He was on the podcast not too long ago. Um,
Shout out Preware.
Yeah, shout out Preware. He's just like I feel like it was kind of like as a joke. He was just like, "Hey, like, I'm gonna buy your like tier of like your like standard tier on Fiverr, and I want you to because like we had saw this. He showed me this TikTok of like, it was like an edit that was synced up to music of like just like someone literally just getting kills in Valorant and like just like annihilating people. And so he was like, he liked it so much, he like bought one of my things. He bought my standard tier, and he was just like, "I just want you to like remake this, and that's it." Like, could you just? And he's
That's
like,
awesome.
"Here's like 20 or 30 clips I had from like Shadow Play. Just like use this and just remake it with my clips." And so, pretty much did that. I didn't do a one-to-one remake for multiple reasons because I just like to have my own style on things. I don't want to like direct copy something,
Right.
but I made a pretty close rendition. It was a lot of fun. I didn't think it was gonna have that much fun. I ended up like staying up super late that night when he ordered it. Like, I think I was up to like 2 or 2:30, and like I work a full time job, so I had to be up super early the next day. But it's it was a lot of fun. That was like one thing I did. There's also another kind of little project I have in the works. I don't want to speak too much on it because I want to wait and see how things go.
Yeah.
But it's
I think I know
also
what it
a
is.
yeah, it's also a potential it's a potential opportunity for like a consistent line of work. So we'll see what comes out of it. But I'm super confident with it. I'm super happy with the little kind of demo I did for it. So we'll see what happens.
It's awesome, man. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man. It's gonna be a fun couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I saw your edit, the Valorant video, and that was pretty sick.
Yeah,
It was a
dude.
lot of fun, very
Yeah,
clever.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was fun. Like I thought it was gonna be tedious, but I actually enjoyed it. Just like syncing up like shots like that to a song. It's like the final product is so like satisfying when you actually like get it.
yeah,
So
it kind of reminded me of like old school, like montages, FPS montages,
yeah,
because what people try to do is like set up the multi kills for the beat of the songs, and then try to keep that consistency for the length of a song.
yeah,
So like a montage could go at that time for like 10 minutes long, and then you have like three different songs and you had to sync them all up.
yeah,
It's
yeah, dude.
nuts. Take
See,
so much
yeah.
time.
Like that's the crazy thing about those long montages. Like normally they're super sick, but it's like that's like always the hardest thing when it comes to making those is like figuring out the song. I feel like it's like takes longer than the actual edit sometimes. Like just
Yeah.
figuring out like
What
what you
actually
actually
works.
like exactly what works and what like builds hype. So
And
just
what the
doing it.
creator likes, or like
Yeah,
the person it's for. It's a
yeah,
tough gig.
dude. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's like it's montages. I think are like some of the most satisfying things in it, though. Especially if you have someone who has like insane clips, because you're just
Yeah.
like like I edited a couple Rocket League montages for one of my boys Ido, and it was like he's like so insane at Rocket League. I was just like there was times where I was just like sitting there just like rewatching a clip a bunch of times because I was like, dude, that shot was insane. Like I don't even hit that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's sick, man.
But
Yeah,
what
so
about you, Mike? What have you been up to this week?
mostly IRL stuff, really. Like so this past week we had basically like a friend stay in this room that I like film and game in. And when I have company over, I try not to like be in this space because it's like you're my guest. I want you to feel comfortable and have your own individual space. So
Yeah,
I just kind of stayed out of there and didn't play any games. But the IRL stuff was like I went out of town. I went to Raleigh. I went and saw a concert. Went and saw Dance Gavin Dance with some Halo buddies of mine, and we went and saw the Carolina Hurricanes Game 7 playoff of round one. and that was insane. It was so much fun. It's like I went to high school in Raleigh too, so I know some like good places to eat, and I have some friends there, so I got to catch up with like one or two of my friends, and I also got to see take the guys who have like never had North Carolina or Carolina barbecue. Took them to one of the better places I know, and I was hyping it up, man, the whole time, and I was real nervous that I was like, what if I take them there and it's not as good as it used to be?
Oh
It's like they're gonna roast forever, rightfully so. So I took them there and I was asking them like after they finished because they crushed the meals. And I was like, "How was it?" And they're like, "That was the best brisket I've ever had in my life."
Yes,
Like,
sir.
all right, bet.
There you go.
All right, bet.
Nailed it.
Like we're good. We're good. Killed it. Outside of that, man, I mean, just chilling, like just doing sports, like watching sports, and yeah. But it's good to be back on my setup, man. I want to
Yeah,
get back on the video
dude.
game grind. I want to just like I want to get back to streaming, dude. I like there are things I want to do. Get like more of a routine schedule. So
Yeah, sure. I know, like in the group chat we were hitting you up, like because you had like told us like you hadn't been able to game much, and we were just like poking fun and joking at you about like just like how we're just like we each have access to it. And, like poor Mike's over here, just like IRL stuff. Like,
yeah, I was literally fiending for it because, like, for me, I mean, most people are like this that are like big in video games, so maybe it's relatable to people. I could be projecting too, but playing games sometimes is a bit of a escape from reality in a way that it's a stress reliever, you know?
yeah.
So it's like I like to come home and if I'm frustrated with work or something like that, dude, I'll put on Rocket League and play that for like 2 hours and I'll be good. Or even put it for like 10 minutes, just like something to like throw away the stress for like a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was missing out on that. I was like clinching on Arthur clinching his fists, and I'm like, dude, I just want to play Splitgate, like anything. So yeah, it was good. It was a good break, and happy to be back. And I'm just excited to be doing the podcast now.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah, and I mean, your team won today. I don't know if you want to talk about that some.
Yeah, I'm an Everton fan. I'm trying to like hold it back because not everybody's big into like English Premier League stuff. But I'm an Everton fan, and they won. They secured the next league, like to stay in the top flight next year, which is a massive deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like life or death for them, and yeah, I hung the jersey up for everybody that's actually watching the video. I got Calvert-Lewin's jersey up. Big fan right now. That's staying up there until he leaves the club. So I'll tell you right now. So yeah. So
I'm super happy for you. Sure. Because like even though I'm not huge in like football or anything, it's still like just watching those clips that you sent, it's like, dude, I'm just like sitting there. I don't even know these people. I'm like hype. Like just watching that. It's like, dude, yes, like I don't know who you are, but like let's go.
I was watching it in the office, and like my boss is behind me, and I gave him my phone. He's a Chelsea fan, and I have Peacock or NBC Sports like to go or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's trying to watch the Chelsea game, but he couldn't. He was listening to it on the radio, and I was just like logged in. I was like, here, because I'm watching my game, so you can't say anything to me. Dude, they scored like every time they scored, I went from like hype because they were down too, and I like got pretty excited after the first goal, and I'm like, okay, maybe a little bit of hopes, like because the hope is what kills you, really.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Ted Lasso if you've ever watched that on Apple TV. And I'm like getting hype, and then they scored the second goal, and then I'm like full fledged, like about to lose it, and I'm in the office. Okay, I'm in the office. People are trying to work. The third goal, and I'm holding it. And I'm just like, like full extension. I almost like stood up and started running out. It was like it's 4:45, and I turned around. I'm just like, they just scored.
Dude, I just imagine. Yeah, I just imagine you like running out. And like you just like you hear a faint like yeah, like just outside of the office, it's like freaking out. Oh, that's good.
You have no idea, man. I was so excited,
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome.
Calling my dad, and just like we're both screaming.
I was gonna say it runs in the family, man. That's see, that's like the best thing too. That's a good like bonding thing. It's like sports and stuff like that. Like, dude, yeah, like my dad like was always into football and stuff, so like he would always just like he never really rooted for a team, and he never has. He just likes watching like sports, and so like he'll just throw on a football game and just watch. And it's a lot of fun. I used to watch
Yes.
sometimes, but yeah, I don't watch much anymore because I don't have cable or anything, so it makes it kind of hard.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's still fun.
cheat sheet for you. Maybe I think you might live in a big enough city where it works. You can't see it, can you? No, you can't. My yeah, my mic's in the way. But what I'll describe is the over the air antennas. They still exist. Plug them into the back of your TV, tape them to the wall or like a window, and some of them get like 35, like 60 miles or something like that up of distance. So like NFL games, like I benefit from living in Charlotte. There's an NFL team here, so I can pick up NFL games and like I watch all the Panthers games for free.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
so yeah, it's all over the air. It's all HD. It's like it's not bad quality. Like what you're
Dang, that's
remembering from
crazy.
like the bunny ears. Like
Yeah,
people say like, oh, it's the bunny ears, like 640p or it's trash. And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, I get 1080p. It's like crystal clear HD.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Like yeah, every Wednesday I'm over here watching like ABC Survivor HD. Like it's sick. It's
Dude,
sick.
that is literally a life hack. I'm gonna have to look into that. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah, they're cheap. They're super cheap too. So
Nice. Hmm.
yeah, check it out.
Dang,
But enough
stealing
of
cable.
that,
Let's
man.
go.
Let's let's get to the week in review of everything that's been going on.
Yes, sir. There's a lot to go over this week, as there always is.
Hmm.
The top, like, well, not the top story, but like the first story I want to get into is 100 Thieves making a pretty awesome announcement this week. In a Project X, which for those who don't know, it is a game that they are developing over at the organization. They announced this week that they are starting a brand new there's a brand new game in production that they're making. They're pretty much essentially starting a studio over there at
Yeah.
100 Thieves, and it's codenamed Project X at the moment. Um, there's not too much detail, unfortunately, that they could give us at the moment. They kind of just made the announcement on Twitter this week, kind of saying like, "Hey, like we're making a game. We don't really know what it is yet." Even though like Nate Chop was joking about how like, "Oh, we know what it is. We just can't say yet," kind of
Yeah.
thing. So super excited to see what comes of that. The Twitter account is 100T underscore Project X for those interested and want to follow along on that journey. Anyways, a quick breakdown from what they mentioned in the video. They essentially said that they're working on a game. They feel like they have a kind of a leg up in the industry, and they feel like they have a serious advantage since they are under the umbrella, like under the 100 Thieves umbrella. They have like top tier like competitive teams that are like winning championships, and they also have some of the best content creators I think out there right now. Especially if
Yeah.
like any org in general, they constantly do content, which most orgs like I feel like just they don't take advantage of that, which is kind of unfortunate. Um, but yeah, so they're really on top of content. They're really on top in the competitive scene, and so they have access to those two divisions, but they're also hiring like very well known like experienced like game devs to come in. And on top of that, they also want to involve the community in some aspect. I guess anyone who's willing to participate. So they really want to. Sounds like they really want to take this project and like make something that's very community driven and kind of take in the experts that they have under their roof to really make something good. And it's very exciting for me. I know Doc was another example. Doctor Disrespect. He had I
Yeah.
guess he has like the at 12 a.m. or midnight, whatever that
Hmm.
development company that he started. They have a game in development right now, so it's like you see these content creators who oftentimes like see the flaws in a lot of these multiplayer shooters or whether it's like just single player games or whatever. They see the flaws in these games, and they said, well, I mean, they're essentially saying like I don't know like what's going on, but like I can make a good game, and I have access to those resources, and I want to make sure it's actually like decent and like we check every box that these games keep missing. So it's very exciting times. I think like especially with 100 Thieves announcing this, it's kind of like I'd be curious to see how many more like kind of content creators want to try and get like who have that kind of funding want to try and make their own game and really try and gather a team of like-minded people. And who knows, man? In a few years, we could see some pretty insane games, Mike. I don't know. I'm very optimistic about this. I mean, we'll have to see. Obviously, I think we'll know in due time if it's like actually going to be decent. It'll probably be telling in the type of like deliverables they put out. But I don't know, exciting stuff. What do you think, Mike?
I think it's really good. Like overall, I think it's really good. I think there's a couple obstacles that they're gonna have to tackle, but I don't think 100 Thieves is going to mess it up. And the reason why I don't think they're going to mess it up is they're more of like I don't really view 100 Thieves as like an esports winning championship like teams. I view them more as a clothing brand and content creation machine. So like you mentioned, they have so many good content creators where they're just dishing out content constantly and they're making tons of money off of that. They have like a land center. They're really supportive of their community and the people that like are under their umbrella and their sponsorships. Like they know what they're doing. And I think it's really cool that and they mention it in the announcement video between the two owners, one of them being Nate Shot. I'm sorry, I don't remember the other guy. John, Matt, and John.
think so.
Um, Fact
Yeah,
check me on that.
John Robinson, yeah,
Right, John
president and
Robinson.
COO.
Yeah, and Matt being Nate Shot.
Yeah.
So they do briefly mention a couple of things about like what the game could possibly be and what their interests are. But the thing that stuck out to me is they want to do like a breakdown of the progress of the game.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I can imagine that the 100 Thieves brand is going to be more of like a behind the scenes look at what game development is. And building a game is going to take years, years and years and years. And this is like they've only hired one person for the studio so far. So we're like, I would guess we're like at least 3 to 5 years out of an actual product.
Probably, yeah.
But the benefit is that then they hint on is like they have tons of creators, tons of pros, and their overall community that they can source from of what's good, what's bad, and like overall feedback. So if they do that right and they have the right formula of getting people's inputs, I mean, it can be really, really successful.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
what do you think the type of game it's going to be? Like, what genre?
I mean, if I had to guess, like I think it would be I think it'd be kind of weird if they didn't do like either an arena shooter, a tactical shooter, some sort of FPS. Like I feel like that's just like
Yeah.
that screams 100 Thieves to me. And like, I mean,
Hmm.
with Nate Shot being the founder, that's all the man plays. Like if you ever like watch his streams,
Yeah.
like he's always playing a shooter, right? So it's like I feel like they're probably gonna make something in that vein. I also like I'm so optimistic about it, but I'm also like but like now that like we're kind of talking about it and I'm like thinking more about it, it's like I and I kind of hope this isn't the case, but if they're gonna like have this development cycle where they really like have people involved and kind of showcase things, is it gonna like affect the punch that the release of this game is gonna have? Because like I think what most devs like what what makes most devs like their games like go insane, I think, at the start is like most of the time like you'll have at least a little bit of an idea or you'll have like no idea, and then all of a sudden they release this product and it's just like this new thing you've never seen before, never had any idea was coming. Like I feel like that's the biggest advantage of a company, to not like kind of get too detailed about their development stuff. But I don't know, I could be wrong. I think again, I'm just kind of curious to see what's gonna happen, but and who knows.
Do you think that has anything to do with like when you're constantly showing what you're working on, it kind of sets an expectation level? Whereas when you release something that nobody's seen before, the expectations are like there are no expectations because they you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
So
exactly. Like, I mean, I also think I'm a firm believer of like not really talking about too much, like just doing the work, not really talking
yeah,
about it
I
out there,
believe.
because it takes a lot of the energy out of actually making the product. Whenever you're like kind of like saying this, is what we're gonna do this, 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 and this, it's like as soon as you
Just
say
do it.
that, like it's just like all the energy's gone, and like you're less motivated, and it's probably not gonna be as good of a product as it would have been if you just put your head down and did the work, So
Yeah, it's a good point.
see, man. Um, like I'm excited, but it's all about. I think we'll know pretty early on if it's something that's gonna
Oh
like
yeah.
be crazy or if it's something that's gonna be like, whatever.
I'm hoping for the best. Same thing goes for Doctor Disrespect's game. I'm gonna check him out. Obviously, I do like the little letter, not letter that Doctor Nate Shot ended up writing up
Yeah,
for this new project, and he basically references his come up, I guess, is like his early career and like the games that he used to play and what he takes inspiration from, and he wants to recreate that for other people and himself. So he's coming from a good place, and I think that they do have a really good vision, and they're really just trying to like venture off into an entirely new path for 100 Thieves. I mean, that's a really big deal. It's only the start for esports and just orgs in general.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, when you really think about it, yeah, there's not many, and it's it hasn't been around long, right? And like
Right.
for 100 Thieves to come into the scene and like be as successful as they have been in just 5 years, it's like who else is gonna come in and like be at the top all of a sudden,
Seriously.
Like,
Yeah.
definitely crazy. I also forgot, like, I always, for some reason, I'm forgetting, even though I see their like constant tweets about these merch drops they do that like they're like a premium merch brand. Like, I just like
Oh
for some
yeah, they're
reason forgot
serious.
that for a second. But yeah, like, yeah. So the merch is gonna be fire for whatever this game is. Like, that's without a doubt.
Yeah, there's so many things that they can do. They can have like anytime you buy merch from the merch store, you can get like a QR code or like a little code that you can redeem in their game where you can have like a character wear the merch.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
sick.
like there's so many things you could do, or like I don't know. They definitely are going to integrate the 100 Thieves brand into the game,
Yeah,
and they can build partnerships with other orgs to do the same.
yeah, for sure.
So
I think with someone like Nate Shot at the helm, like that's definitely gonna be
yeah,
like a thing. Like he's just gonna
yeah,
want to work with all these orgs and stuff. It's definitely
yeah.
exciting on the collaboration front, I think.
Yes, and I think you and I are both in agreement that hopefully they do it on Unreal Engine 5,
Oh,
and it
dude.
just looks phenomenal.
I mean,
So,
it's literally at this point, it is criminal if you don't. Like
yeah,
if you
it's
can't figure
so
out Unreal Engine
ridiculous.
5, you better get some new people that can, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, and
very,
I'm just
very important.
I'm excited to talk about the hardware that's going to be using Unreal Engine 5 as well.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, oh yeah, we're
So,
gonna get onto that. Not the next article, but the one after, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
keep watching.
one
Um,
at a time.
so yeah, very excited for this. There was also an article that threw me off this week, Mike. I'll be honest. When I kind of read it, I had to like check it and read it
Yeah,
and like actually see if it was true. And I've
yeah.
talked about
I thought it was fake as well.
it. It's like what? It makes no sense. But Apex Legends, they just had the official mobile release the last week before, pretty recent.
Yeah, last week. I think
And
we mentioned it on the last episode. Actually, it could
yeah,
have been this week.
it did. They just had their mobile launch, very successful, so I've heard. Um, and there's a new legend, the newest legend in the Apex Legends universe that is only available on mobile. It's actually exclusive to the platform. It is not on PC, not on console. Very interesting. Very interesting here. Anyways, the article says, meet Fade. Fade is he's the new legend, the new hero, I guess, in the
He
game.
looks cool.
Um, I love how PC Gamer does this. I'm just gonna read this paragraph because I thought it was hilarious. So he said he's a face powered mercenary who, like Tracer in Overwatch, can rewind time with his tactical abilities, send allies and enemies to an alternate dimension with his ult, and gains a speed boost after sliding. He also has a skull mask ripped straight out of Call of Duty, and oh right, he probably won't ever be playable on PC or console. That's a big thing. Should have opened with that. The article goes on to talk about how he's like kind of a like Apex Legends. They launched they launched the mobile edition prior this week after months of soft launch and testing and stuff. And it says it was developed in part by Tencent's Lightspeed Studios for the mobile port. And they essentially built the game ground up from a new engine, has its own features, its own modes, and there's a lot there's a lot about this game that I've like heard that like is just there's a lot of exclusive stuff in the mobile version.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy. They went all out and really like made. I think they really made like the mobile version something that like they really want people to try out, and like I think overall the fact that this legend and like they have exclusive stuff for mobile. It's a killer way to get people to actually try out mobile. Like you can't
Yeah.
can't deny it. Um, and who knows? We may they this legend or whatever may end up coming to PC one day. I wouldn't completely write it off, but who knows, man? Maybe Respawn is like just out here really trying to like take over mobile. Who knows, man? Um, what are your thoughts on it, Mike?
Well, I mean, this is. I think it's kind of criminal not to have a character like this in all platforms of the game. You know,
Yeah,
but I guess I get it, right? Because they want to push the new mobile app or the new mobile game, so it does make sense to have some exclusivity on it and more exclusivities, like you mentioned. So I'm kind of okay with it. but at the same time, I don't care about playing on mobile. So I'll never be able to, well, maybe not never, but right away you can't play as the new character. So I guess you just gotta hope and wait. It's
I
kind
mean,
of a
yeah,
disappointment, you know?
yeah. I mean, definitely. It's you play keyboard and mouse when you play Apex, or you play controller?
Keyboard and mouse.
I was gonna say, if you're on controller, dude, you can hook up a controller to a mobile device and use all the power of a controller on mobile if
Yeah,
you really wanted to. Um,
very true.
yeah. And I don't know. I mean, there's ways. I mean, there's ways you could play like mobile games and stuff with keyboard and mouse through emulators if you really wanted to. Like, I
Mm.
mean, I don't know if you could do it with Apex Legends, but I certainly know you could do it with other games, and it's very cheesy. And I've done it before. Or may not have done it before, allegedly. But but yeah, but I think either way you look at it, I mean, there's definitely two sides of this. You could be like, what is Respawn doing? Or you could be like kudos to Respawn for, trying to promote their mobile platform. So,
It could also be like, how about this other route? Let's say that character might be so broken that they don't know how to balance it in the current meta of Apex on PC, like console. Maybe. I mean, because there's a
maybe.
lot, like, there's a lot of money in these tournaments, and if you bring a character like this, and maybe he's just absolutely overpowered, you know,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess it's entirely a possibility. I mean, it'd be kind of funny, honestly, if that like came out that like
it just
oh,
broke
we
the
didn't
game.
know how to like balance him on like the actual game, so we just put him on mobile. um,
And we locked it, and we're
yeah,
we're working behind the scenes to get it fixed.
yeah, it'd be
Who
pretty good.
knows? Maybe.
Um,
Oh no, Apex Legends is a pretty cool game. So
yeah, for sure. It's one of
hopefully,
my favorite
hopefully they
VRs.
introduce them.
Yeah, it's up there, so we'll see, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you already answered this pretty much, but like, would you ever try the mobile version of Apex? Just like if you wanted to play the new agent for like a
Ever,
split second.
ever try? Yeah, I'd probably try it, but I do think I have never tried a mobile game of that kind of caliber
Um,
on my current phone, and my
yeah, that's
current
true
phone's
too.
about 3 years old. I think
Yeah,
we mentioned the last episode.
yeah,
So
I believe we did. Yeah, dude,
yeah,
like it kind of
yeah.
discriminates us, like because it's
It,
like,
it,
you know,
yeah, I'm not trying to get on and then play on like 12 frames per second and get bopped by a zoomer with a brand new phone, you know?
I know, heaven
Like,
forbid they're using like a Razer phone, dude. Like
yeah,
120
it's over.
refresh rate,
GG's.
you're done.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I'll look into getting one of those in the future, but right now, I mean, my phone's still good and it does what I want to for what I need it to do, and the
Exactly.
battery's still alive. So once the battery starts deteriorating, I'm getting a new one.
Yeah.
We'll be in the market, and then maybe I will be a mobile gamer soon. Who
Hey
knows?
man, be a good way to test out the processor on a new phone.
Facts. Facts.
Um, speaking of new processors,
Oh
let's
yes, I'm
go.
excited for this one.
Excited too, ladies and gentlemen. The RTX 4090 has a rumored, I will say, asterisk rumored, uh,
Rumor.
arrival of mid July this year in 2020.
Yep.
And
2 months.
yeah, very close. This comes from The Verge. Sean Hollister reported this. Um, essentially, it's I mean, it's in the title, right? Like this new card could come as early as midsummer, which is like crazy to think about. Um,
Yep.
that it's like we're already there. But I mean, we're already almost done with May, right? So, it's not that crazy after all. And like I mentioned this before we started, but 20 series was announced in August, and then the 30 series was announced in September, and so
Mhm.
here we are, a year
July.
later, and July seems to be seem to be bumping back a couple months. This prediction, I guess this rumor actually came from a Twitter user that is known for correctly predicting specs on the previous cards, 3090 and 3080, among some other things that he got right. So it's somewhat credible source. It's not just a random person. But yeah, the latest prediction suggests that suggesting that the 4090 will require up to 450 watts of power all by itself, kind of similar to the 3090 Ti. that NVIDIA put on sale back in March, but they offer quite a few more cores than the last gen chip. 16,128 of them paired with a 24 gigabyte at GDDR6 memory at 21 gigabits per second. Won't get too close to the numbers. The only thing I will mention here, this is probably the most important paragraph in this article. And they say that while that's around 50% more cores than the RTX 3090, it's on NVIDIA's new Ada Lovelace architecture, which again reportedly crams in a bunch of other hardware as well. Enough so that some watchers expect that we will see double the raw performance this hardware generation. Like just quick pause there, dude. Like, like there's like a potential that we could get double the performance out of this next generation, which is crazy because the leap from the 20 series to the 30 series like rocked my socks off, to say the least.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, Mike? Yeah. Like absolutely crazy. So just to hear that we may get something that's the same, if not better, of a leap this time around is crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like we're getting a better leap. If I do remember correctly, we covered Ada Lovelace in an episode about 3 or 4 episodes back. And to remind you, if you don't, it's about how they're integrating the structure of the SSD being on the card.
Oh, yeah.
So that you don't need to loop back into elements on your motherboard, like your CPU or your like SSD or anything like that when operating high performance software or video games. So it basically like cuts an extra loop or section, which is I guess why they're calling it a Lovelace, you know. So it's like just that technology when we saw it, and it was all kind of rumored too, right? These are sort of leaks, right? Like air quotes leaks. And dude, it's looking more and more true, and I'm really excited. But yeah, the power estimates and stuff, and like all dude, my frame rates, I'm kind of geeked right now. Like,
yeah, like straight
I'm
up,
really
same,
excited to
dude.
see what's gonna come out with this.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
mean,
big fan.
I don't know either. I'm very excited. This article also talks about some other like rumors that have been floating around. It said that last month this was Kimmy, the person that leaked the recent stuff, saying that it was mid-July release for the next 40 series card. They suggested last month that NVIDIA is actually testing a 900-watt card with 48 gigabytes of memory that requires two 16-pin power connectors to function. That would be wild, dude. Like, I don't know what kind of performance you get out of that, but I feel like that would bottleneck every CPU on the market right now.
Oh yeah, easily.
So...
Well, until the next generation of the AMD card
I mean, yeah,
CPUs come out, because we covered that last episode.
yeah,
That thing was insane.
yeah, I know, and
Some
they're
of the stuff that was coming
completely.
out.
I mean, yeah, they were ditching DDR4 like entirely.
Yeah, they're
From that
they're
form
like
factor, so
DDR5 only.
so yeah, that's gonna be next level. I mean, dude, so excited. I actually, between last episode and this episode, I was looking at RAM. I was just window shopping for RAM, and like I didn't realize like how prominent DDR5 is now. Like you could just get it just like any other thing. It's I guess I haven't been as involved in the PC building stuff recently as I thought I was. Yeah, because it's crazy now, man. It's like commonplace to get DDR5.
Yeah, I've been slacking, which means I got to figure out if any of my stuff is like compatible with all these new CPUs and GPUs that we've been talking about the last like month.
Yeah.
So,
God, exciting stuff, dude.
Hopefully,
2022 is gonna hit.
yeah. Just as long as the supply chain issues are, they're okay. Like
Yeah,
we can
that's
actually
true,
get
man.
stuff without having to pay a fortune for it.
Yeah, dude, that'd be so unfortunate. Like, just think about it. Like, we're on the tail end of the GPU gouge, right? Like, we're starting to round out MSRP. We're getting so close, and then the 40 series comes out and just completely goes back up. Imagine, God.
At least the 3000 series, I mean, they should be all right. They should even reduce in price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for people that have been holding out, I mean, there's your answer.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, like I'm gonna be eyeing this 4090 for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah, I know.
Can't wait to play COD without having to downgrade everything. That game is so poorly optimized. Or Halo Infinite or any of these games that just need a little bit more tinkering with.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if we see better performance on any of those games with like the extra horsepower. I'm sure we will for some, but I'll be curious to see like what is the like absolute most we can get out of these games, and I think this is gonna show us for sure. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be visiting a lot of tech YouTubers when they start doing
yeah,
like the benchmarks and
oh yeah,
like comparison and stuff.
you already know we're doing a benchmark roundup when that drops. Like
Oh yeah,
everybody, like, oh, it's gonna be so good.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be nice.
So yeah, keep
Comparison
an eye out.
videos and stuff.
Keep an eye out for summer. No, it's gonna be good.
Yep, yep. It's gonna be a good summer, just
Yeah,
overall in life.
sure.
It's gonna be great.
That is so true, man. Speaking of summer, the next thing I wanted to show, I don't really have an article for this. I just wanted kind of to go over and show the new Saints Row hands-off preview that came out this week, showing some gameplay of the new Saints Row reboot. It looks so
coming
good,
from
man.
IGN
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, from IGN on YouTube. This is a it looks like, and I've seen like articles talking about it too. It's just like the goofy Saints Row that was so good, and like this like crazy engine, and it looks so much fun. It looks good, and I'm just
It
so
looks
excited.
so smooth. Like all the animations are super smooth. They have like really good shadowing and like textures. The art style is like it looks like Saints Row.
Yeah.
The mechanics are pretty cool. I mean, it just looks like a ton of fun.
it just yeah, it looks like Saints Row, just way better graphically, and
Yeah.
so excited for this, man. But yeah, the full preview is about 7 minutes, I guess. They go through like character customization and all that. It's try and space out as much as I can for this. But yeah, it's this game particularly I'm excited for, because I know me and one of my boys, we always love playing Saints Row, so like we're definitely hopping on this when it launches, and it's coming out at the end of August. The exact date is actually in the description, which I'm gonna peek really fast. August 23rd, 2022. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC via the Epic Game Store, which probably is timed exclusive or maybe a full exclusive.
Probably,
I don't know. But I mean, regardless, it looks like a banger, Mike.
It does. It looks really well put together. I think they've been working on it for a long time too, haven't they?
Think so. It definitely was delayed at least once. It was supposed to come out in February, I believe, and then got delayed till August. So
yeah, they've been keeping it basically like under wraps of the progress and just trying to keep it close handed. But the trailers, I mean, this is just it looks like real gameplay.
yeah,
It looks like a lot of fun, and I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it looks insane, and it looks like I could spend hours and hours on it.
I mean,
Like
dude,
this
is a
for the
wingsuit.
people. Yeah, for the people that are listening, there's a part in this preview where a man is driving his truck, launches up on top of a roof full speed, hits a brick wall. The car stops, he goes through the windshield, and then he like flips out of control in the air, pulls out a wingsuit, and then starts flying away from it. It's like it's just cartoonish. It looks like a lot of fun. There's hoverboards in it. Like
Yeah.
this looks wild. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think Saints Row got a lot of flack back in the day too, especially when 3 came out. Of like, oh, it's too cartoony now. What the heck? Where's the old Saints Row? But like, I loved it, man. Saints Row 3 was so much fun, and I didn't get to play as much of 4, but I heard some, I heard 4 was just like 3 pretty much. And then, but this just looks like taking that and making it better. So definitely excited.
Yeah, they do have some like environmental effects and explosions that I mean, it all looks super clean.
Yeah,
And the mechanics of the shooting, I mean, I'm very excited to see how it ends up.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you going to be a day one download and play?
Yeah, I think so. Especially if my buddies about it. I'll try. Definitely gonna try and rope them in. They even show the map a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this definitely looks like a game that you can drag a whole bunch of people in and go into like a party and stuff like that and have fun.
Yeah, it should be 4-player. I know the previous ones were, so it's gonna be a banger. Hopefully.
Got to keep up with expectations.
Yeah, so for sure. But yeah,
here's hoping for the best for the Saints Row community.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely go check out the hands-off preview if you have not already.
Yeah, definitely.
In the description. Leading us into Epic Games, we talked about Epic Games. That it will have the Saints Row reboot exclusively on PC. Well, I guess the PC will be exclusively on Epic Games Store, PC version. But it is that time of the year again where Epic Games has their mega sale, where like it says over 1,600 games right now are on discount. They also give away a free game a day while it lasts. Lasts about a month. And then there's also a 25% off coupon that you can use on any game in the store. That's kind of the gist. That's most of it. The sale starts today at the time of recording this, May 19th. It will run through June 16th, so almost a full month. The sale includes discounts up to 75% on more than 1,600 games and add-ons, including some of the more notable ones, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which just came out into March. That's 20% off right now. Ghostwire Tokyo, that came out a month ago, right, Mike? Something like that?
End of March.
End of March, okay, so month and a half. About the same time as Tiny Tina. That one's 34% off, brand new game. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, that's 29% off. Sifu is 20% off right now, and then Far Cry 6 is 50%. Of course, tons of others. Definitely go check out the store, see if you find something you like. But one more note: the 25% coupon that will be available on all Epic Game Store, available to all Epic Game Store users. Once you make a purchase with the coupon, you'll instantly get another one to use on your next purchase. These coupons can only be used on games, no DLC or in-game purchases, as long as it's 15 or more before taxes. That's pretty good. It's pretty Epic Games does it right, man. I think I always look forward to this, like every year, I think.
Yeah, I think they always have like some of the newest, biggest titles that they just mark down like crazy amounts.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Steam is also, they also do that too, but Steam's are like, I feel like Steam sales are kind of like drops. You just kind of have to stumble upon it. Whereas Epic Games is like, hey, we got this coming. You should probably get ready for this.
Mike, I could literally go all day about the evolution, or I should say the de-evolution of Steam sales over the past 10 years. I could literally like talk about that forever. Because people in the chat, if you know, you know. People in the I should say, if you know, you know.
People in the pods.
People in the pod. You're listening right now, all right? You're probably driving. Please pay attention to the road. If you were involved in any of the Steam sales that happened like early 2010s, you will know that they used to be so good. And this is back when, like, before, because this was kind of back before Steam was such a big target that they can't do this anymore.
Yes.
But they would they'd have these insane sales that would go on, like games on discount and everything. But the real money and what kept people glued to their computer for like the 2 weeks or whatever, however long it lasted, was the lightning deals. Those things were insane, dude. Like you wouldn't know what the games were. It would just be random games, and you would just see like it would just, you would keep your eye on this little section that was the lightning deals, because you would have no idea. I feel like they would just go into their database and just like pick random games and then slap these insane discounts on them and just be like, all right, here you go. They wouldn't even like, I feel like they wouldn't consult like the devs half the time. It was just like,
no, I don't think,
like, dude, it made me believe that, because it was that insane sometimes with some of those deals.
Weren't they like some games were out for less than a month and they just cut it down 70%?
Yeah,
like something stupid.
Bro, it was absolutely insane. There was even time, like, and again, like, shout out to Pre-War again, like we were both like super into this, like, and we would always check the deals. There was one time where they actually messed up on one of the pricings on one of the deals, and like, and they made a game 99% off. What was that game? Counter-Strike Go. They made it 99% off. It was 14 cents. He bought that game for 14 cents. I'll never forget it. And we were
wait.
Like, he literally purchased
That's how I got it.
Like, did you?
Yeah, that's how I got it. McSlurminator or Max.
Oh, really?
Because like the majority, so he also bought me Rocket League on discount on Steam. Because he was always super hype. He was just like, they're doing discounts right now, and I'm just like, okay. He's like, you have a laptop, right? Download Steam, make an account here. Because he wanted desperately like somebody to play with him. It was really funny.
Dude. Yeah, that's funny.
You're right.
But dude, like, literally, like, he was able to get CSGO for his friend for like 14 cents. It's the craziest thing ever. And then they fixed it. I'm pretty sure they fixed it like 10 minutes after it was live, because they finally realized that it was like that low, and so many people were buying it. They were like, oh yeah, we gotta change that. But dude, yeah. But they didn't like revoke the key or anything from accounts that like took advantage of it. So they're just like, well, slip through the cracks, whatever.
What are you gonna do? Just take the L. Take the L.
Yeah, right. Dude.
Anyways,
Steam sales today? Steam sales today?
Yes.
Not anywhere near what they were back then. Anyways, I digress.
No. Yeah. But we're talking about the Epic Games Store and their mega sale. So that's on the 19th, and what's today? Is today the 19th? Today's the 19th. That's
19th,
happening
yep.
right now. May 19th to June 16th. And something else that I want to mention just very briefly because I came across it. Are you showing it on the Walmart deals? No, you're not. Don't
I'm
worry
not
about it.
showing it.
Don't
Uh,
no, it's not even worth it. Don't worry about it. But basically, Memorial Day is coming up in the US. Next week, last week, last Sunday in May. So May 29th. And a lot of stores, a lot of retailers, they'll do Memorial Day sales. So definitely take a look at like Target, Walmart, whatever superstore you can think of. I'm sure Amazon has it too.
yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely take a look because there are some things that I found like there's a Vizio TV, 4K smart TV, and like I'm diehard Vizio, like big fan of Vizio just in general.
Yeah.
For I won't go into reasons why, but their sale was like a 50-inch TV, and I think they cut it off like nearly half. And I'm over here just like, dude, I mean, I could kind of use a new TV. I don't really need it, but I mean, that'd be sick.
Yep.
What if I just show up all of a sudden next episode? I just got like a giant TV right
Giant
here.
flat screen.
Yeah, yeah, but I digress. So
Yeah.
check
Yeah.
out the sales; they're going on for the next like month or two,
Yeah.
and new tech coming out. So
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of
definitely
stuff
take
coming
a
up, but if you want a game right
yeah.
now, you're looking for something new. And we're ending the dry spell period, right? Like the next couple of months,
We are,
especially, it's gonna be
yeah,
like there's not gonna be a lot of releases. So it's gonna be the time to pay
right.
to play your backlog and play the games you
Hmm.
never got to. Because ever you were either playing Elden Ring or something else this year. So
Exactly. Yeah, we're getting into a bit of a null. Like this month with game releases are kind of slow.
yeah.
A lot of the devs are preparing for gaming showcases, and that's that's a pretty big deal for them. So it's like kind of a null void period. So upgrade your hardware, upgrade your monitors, your TVs, whatever you're playing on, and or just save up and get ready. So
For sure, man. For sure.
yeah.
Check out the sales, people. But speaking of this summer, what you just mentioned,
Hmm.
we'll scroll up. The June Gaming Showcase streaming schedule for Summer Games Fest came out. There's not too much else to add to what we've already reported in the past, I think, but it's
Right.
still worth mentioning. Um, the next
Friendly reminder.
exactly friendly reminder. This next month, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be insane. For game showcases.
Yes.
June 9th, probably one of the biggest dates to look out for coming up here. At 2 p.m. Eastern on June 9th is Summer Game Fest. It's their main centerpiece showcase where they're going to be doing world premieres, and it's Jeff Keighley's hosting it, the GOAT. So, greatest to ever do it. He also gets it. He's like one of those few people in the gaming industry that like he's fully in tune
Yeah.
with like everything, and he just knows what's next and everything. So 2 p.m. Eastern, June 9th. Definitely tune in to Twitch, YouTube. It's gonna be streamed everywhere, like it always is. And similar to Game Awards, you can literally watch it on anything. It's like
Yeah.
can't miss it. But yeah, and they're even apparently like they even do it in IMAX. It says you can even watch it in some select IMAX
I
theaters.
saw that.
Like imagine
That'd
just
be so
watching,
sick.
dude. Like I wish we still had IMAX where I'm at, but we don't, unfortunately. God, that'd be insane.
Oh man, maybe one time you and I should just meet up and go to an IMAX presentation of one of these.
Dude, that'd be
And
insane.
like meet halfway. I know a city that has an IMAX halfway. We should just go meet up and then spend a weekend there. Be
That'd be
sick.
yeah, that'd be amazing. I'd be definitely down to something like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, if there's an IMAX nearby, who knows, man? Might be worth.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, so that is June 9th. June 10th, there's some kind of smaller showcases going on. Netflix's Geeked Week is going to be on June 10th, at 1 p.m. Eastern. What it is, they have a little description. If you're looking for the next show to Netflix and chill to, Geeked Week will highlight around 60 upcoming movies and TV series making their way to the service.
Sheesh.
As the name implies, Geek Week spans multiple days and will offer looks at gaming adaptations such as Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, and Resident Evil, that new series that's coming out. I think it was July, right?
Yeah.
It's very,
Mhm.
very soon.
Yeah.
So,
Very soon.
yeah, it's gonna be first looks on all those. But yeah, if you're into movies and TV, great thing to check out and see what's coming.
I definitely want to watch that for the drama because like Netflix had a little bit of a hiccup in their stocks and stuff when they raised the prices. People started bailing out.
Yeah.
I'm curious, are they going to bounce back? I think they will. But if they hit with like really good movies coming out and then like just a couple of sneak peeks of like Cyberpunk and Resident Evil, I'm going to be stoked.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure, man. Sure. See, the big thing too is like they got rid of account sharing, which is like a huge thing. Well, I don't know if they got
That's
rid of
right.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think they got rid of
Well,
it
they're
yet,
good.
but they were like
They're,
planning to get rid of it.
I believe they were like very much looking at it as a serious possibility, but I think they're going to also try to make it at least harder to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So,
it would make sense, but also like I know account sharing, it's like they have so many subscriptions, they still make so much money. And it's like when they were
yeah.
talking about that, I'm pretty sure they lost like a huge chunk of like subscribers and they announced that. So
I wonder if they have like a figure for how much more money they can make. They got to have that stat, right?
yeah, I mean they gotta be doing that analysis, right? Like
So
they have
maybe it's
to.
so big that they're just like, guys, like we're legit leaving like $1 billion on the table.
All right.
And you know there's a high level like a new CFO that's just like $1 billion. Like what? Like
I like that
people need to
bonus.
yeah, we need to fix this. Yeah, a bonus of $1 billion
Uh,
off of $1 billion. Man, they're gonna get a clean 25 mil. I'd change the rules too. You kidding me?
Bro, never hire Mike.
I'm just saying, I'm a businessman.
I'll play it.
It depends. It depends. It depends. Depends.
Anyways,
Did I say it depends?
also, also on June 10th, this is following the Netflix Geeked Week showcase, the Tribeca Games Spotlight. I'm sure you've heard of the Tribeca Film Festival. That's like a huge thing every year. It's kind of up there with like Sundance and all that. So, they do a game spotlight though. It says that the stream celebrates the titles officially selected by Tribeca to compete for the Tribeca Game Awards. Expect exclusive gameplay reveals and developer interviews for the following titles: A Plague Tale Requiem, which A Plague Tale is actually like a pretty cool like single player game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge game. American Arcadia. I don't believe I've heard of that. As Dusk Falls, Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course, the new Cuphead DLC, I guess it's coming up. Immortality, which I've heard of that name, but I'm sure if I saw like gameplay or a trailer, I'd know what it is. But, anyways, Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals. I've heard of Oxenfree 1. So I didn't know there was a sequel coming up. The Cub is another one. Thirsty Suitors, heard of that. And Binba. So a couple indies there that I've never heard of.
Yep, couple of new ones for me too.
And so who knows? It may be worth checking out still. I think it'll still be kind of like, I still like to peep some of these, even though they're not like the huge event, just kind of see what's out there. So I'll probably stop by
At the it's like at the very least, we're going to be watching the recaps on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll definitely be
articles.
we'll be talking about stuff here too. So
yeah, that'll be an interesting week for us because we do our recordings on Thursday, but the start of it is Wednesday. So we'll have to do like the first 2 days. We'll do a little bit of a review on it, and then this goes into the week. Like all these different events go into the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Sunday's the big one, which we'll get to in a second. Anyways,
right.
June 11th. So 9th, 10th, 11th. The 11th is the Guerrilla Collective. Which if this is entirely indie games, can't get enough indie games, Mike. I know I can't.
I love them.
The Guerrilla Collective traditionally showcases dozens upon dozens of promising independent titles, several of which will appear exclusively at the event. Another indie showcase. I mean, we're about it here, so definitely be checking that out. Following that will be at 11 a.m. Eastern, so kind of early in the day there. Following that will be the Wholesome Games Direct, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. The Wholesale Games Direct serves as a companion show to the Guerrilla event that shines a spotlight on cozier indie titles designed to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Teaser trailer hints that we'll get new looks at games such as Coffee Talk Episode 2, Little Gator Game, and Ooblets. This is like, I feel like this is like the indie kids, like, I don't know, I may be wrong.
Yeah,
like,
this is, I think this is, the Wholesome Games Direct seems like the games to play with your family or like of all ages.
Yeah.
Like a bonding experience. I mean, they might as well say indie Nintendo.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah.
Not really, but it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Blitz is actually on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Did we
yeah,
cover that?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's
Yeah,
the one that
yeah.
reminded us of Pac-Man? Pikmin, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Um, anyways, if you're looking
Yes,
for a
it
game to
did
play with your
slightly.
kids,
Mhm.
12:30 p.m. Eastern on June 11th. You can check that out.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
on that same day, excuse me, on that same day, the Future Game Show, which I think I've caught this. I caught this last year, I think. But this is the Games Radar, uh, essentially like the kind of game showcase. What it is, the good folks at Games Radar host this yearly showcase. The outlet promises 1 hour of world premieres, trailers, and developer interviews for around 40 upcoming titles. The confirmed publishers involved include Team 17, Thunderful, and Amanita Design. So a couple kind of, again, I think it's definitely more like an indie kind of double A feel. So
Yes.
I'd check out some of those stuff. I think it's when most of these smaller showcases will probably be more so focused on that. And that is June 11th, but June 12th, another big day, like very
Yep.
big day.
This is the Sunday.
Yeah, this is the Sunday championship Sunday in the gaming showcase world, dare I say. Um,
I mean, you got two heavy hitters showing up.
I mean, very true. Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase is going to be on June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I mean, I don't even got to read what this is, the what it is.
It doesn't matter. You're
You already
showing
know
up.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? Xbox, Bethesda, leaders in the industry. You know, Bethesda on their redemption arc. I'm confident of it. You know, so I'm
They
very
don't have a choice.
They-
You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's,
yeah,
it's do or die.
exactly. Like, so I'm excited to hear about Starfield the most. You know, hopefully get some good gameplay. I'm hoping out of this showcase for that. And I mean, dare I say we get any more Elder Scrolls 6 news, or do you think we're another like 2 years out from that?
I think we gotta get some type of trailer or a teaser. I would expect a teaser, a
Yeah,
30-second teaser.
I would hope there's
Um,
maybe some like little teaser they have at the end or something. I think it'd be
yeah,
dope.
I really think they need to have a teaser, especially like because of the delay of Redfall and Starfield.
Yeah.
So I think doing that would be really good. And dude, you throw in Elder Scrolls or something like that. I mean, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I would almost say they should do Elder Scrolls 6 and Unreal Engine 5. However, they have their own proprietary engine, the Creation Engine, which I'm sure they are improving upon and using for Starfield, and they will more than
Oh,
likely use
yeah.
on the next titles. So,
What do you think the probability is? Is like they see a new engine get released, they open it up, they test it, try to break it, reverse engineer it, and implement it to their stuff. Probably
Bethesda,
like pretty high, right?
I mean, Bethesda, maybe. I'll say maybe. I'm not going to say like they would for sure do that because it is Bethesda. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about when Fallout 76 came out. There was bugs in that game that existed back in like I think like Morrowind. Like literally that's how old the
Oh,
engine was
wow.
and that's how like much they didn't tweak it over the time. So, I don't know, I'm a little
Jeez.
kind of like maybe.
That's new to
I
me.
mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like
You have a little bit more insight on this than I did.
yeah, it's
Or I do.
yeah, I like really read into that when because like whenever there was like articles coming out about like what went wrong, there's a lot of people pointing out that like it's just the engine was just it was a very old engine and they just haven't updated it in so long, and so that's part of the reason why it was so like just crap when it launched.
Yeah.
But they said they're working on improving it for Starfield, so we'll see. Again, like you said, they can't mess up. You just can't, like
You just can't. You can't again.
you just can't.
You can't do it again. So
But I mean, Xbox titles. This is a co-headlining showcase, so just like overall Xbox stuff, I'm excited to hear about. There's rumors trickling around of a Gears remaster, so if that is the case, I'm sure they
yes.
could show it there. Let's see,
Yeah,
little
that's a
Gears
good point.
trilogy action maybe.
A little bit of a drop. Just like, by the way, everything looks better. There you go.
Yeah, like yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt it that something like that's in the works, coming very soon. But yeah, trying to think if there's anything else. I know Fable, the new Fable thing has come. The new Fable titles in the works. They may show some more stuff about that. Excited to see that. And there's not really too much else I'm remembering. I don't think. I mean, there's obviously like probably some new stuff they're gonna announce, and but those are the ones that really like stick with me from the past couple events they've done. So.
Yeah, they've definitely been teasing and hinting those titles. Hopefully we get a new one. I'd like to see like a little bit of a a new drop just to keep me a little bit excited.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, oh yeah, cool, you're updating the games that you've already mentioned, but I just want to see something completely brand new
yeah,
again.
exactly. New
So
IP is always always exciting. So
yeah, yeah.
um,
So that they go up at 1 o'clock Eastern, and then the next event is at 3,
yeah,
which is the PC gaming show.
yes, sir. PC gaming show. Again, it's a yearly event. I try to watch it every year because honestly, like I love the hosts of that event. I think they do like a really good job.
Yes.
So, and they always like put on a show. So I always watch it just for that. But there's also some like interesting titles that they talk about throughout it. I believe they talked about maybe it was Evolve. I think one year talked about that or
Yeah,
but
they did.
some
Yeah, I think you're right.
maybe it was if not Evolve, it was another kind of like horror shooter, like 4-man, like you get your buddies and you get scared in tunnels. I forget what that game was, but I know they talked about that.
We're talking about The Last of Us, not The Last of Us, Left 4 Dead. Um, why I have the
No,
game
it
downloaded. I
wasn't
can't
Back for
remember it.
Blood. Well,
Back for Blood,
maybe they
yeah.
did talk about Back for Blood. I can't see. I'm like
I
struggling to
thought
remember
they
now.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they did at the PC showcase. It would make sense. I mean, 'cause Left 4 Dead's PC
yeah.
title, but um, anyways, there's definitely some notable stuff they have there for PC. So if you're on PC, check it out. Um, I also pulled an article too from PC Gamer, kind of just talking about the showcase in a little more detail. Um, and some titles to expect. They did announce a couple of things.
Yeah.
Arma 4 was up there as one of the
Yeah, I'm big excited for
yeah,
that.
that's gonna be super. That's gonna be huge. I mean, you said Armor 3 was what 2013 it came out,
Yeah,
so
2013. So that's
almost a
they're going
decade,
on 8
like
years. Yeah.
almost a decade, and we haven't seen an Arma title. But it sounds like we're gonna hear
Jeez.
something at the PC game showcase. So Armor 4 is up there. Sam Barlow's Immortality is another title. Mod Project Half Life Alex Levitation is another title. Warhammer 40k, which I've seen some Warhammer stuff recently. I don't know if it was directly 40k or not, but it is like crazy. Like those games, like
Yeah.
seeing those some of the stuff, it's like whoa, like it actually looks a lot of fun. So um,
Yeah, they've been making more ports to other platforms, I believe.
yeah,
I think they even might have made it over to Switch. Um,
maybe
I'd have to double check. But yeah, yeah, Warhammer's still pretty huge.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, Space Marine 2 and Victoria 3 are some of the other titles that they mentioned will be shown. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's probably gonna be surprises and world premieres, and it's just it's the season, Mike. The game
Yeah,
showcase season, baby.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
We out here.
very excited.
We're
Next
going to be
month's
we're going to be
huge.
covering all of it, so definitely check in.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
check in on the June
our
episodes.
yes, our favorite. It's going to be awesome. I want to see. I kind of want to see some like EA exclusive PC games for some reason.
Yeah,
I
be
know I
dope.
hated on EA last week, but I want to see something like from the Sims universe, kind of that like roller coaster tycoon kind of style, and
Yeah, Planet
like
Zoo.
I miss yeah, I missed some of those games, so I'd like to see that show up again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just real quick too. I know
Yeah,
Arma 4, they put out a little kind of like teaser, the road to Arma, and it kind of just showcases
it's
like
pretty
how
cool.
Arma's evolved. It's really cool to see because like you see Cold War Assault and like it just looks like COD 1. It's like very like polygon like soldiers and not
Oh
much
yeah,
terrain. Um just look at the face for those on video. It's so funny. Um but yeah, they do a nice little transition to combat operations, showing some of that in the dunes. Very cool stuff there. They also show Arma 2, of course Arma 3 as well a little later. Yeah, it's I'm excited to see what they show next month for Arma 4. Hopefully we see some cool gameplay. Because it's been quite a while. So I'm
been a long
expecting a
time.
banger.
Have you ever watched Arma 3 gameplay at all?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. It's very, just that military sim. It's kind of like I feel like I've seen
Yeah,
it. But I've seen a lot of
people.
games that have clearly been inspired by it for sure since then.
Yeah,
So
there's Arma 3 in general has like a lot of impact on what's popular right now that a lot of people don't like know. It's like Arma 3 had a big mod that they started off doing battle royales on. They also did
yeah,
mods to set up more of like role playing, and there were people like GTA role playing that people do. Some of that stuff kind of originated in Arma,
Yeah, I bet.
and it's kind of crazy. So if Arma 4 can build upon that like legacy and their community and embrace the community and what they're trying to do, I mean, this could be a massive hit, and it could be a perfect time to launch when you have three of one of the biggest first person shooter IPs in shambles, like Halo,
Yeah, dude.
COD, and Battlefield. Like all three of those are in shambles right now.
Yeah,
And if Arma can come in and just basically be like, by the way, I know you guys haven't heard of me, but I've been in here for a while now,
yeah,
and I'm kind of the biz.
yeah.
So that'd be sick.
We don't have too much details on how long this has been in development, but
Right.
like, I'm just gonna go off the fact that since it's been almost a decade, it's probably been in the making for a while. At least I would hope. So,
I would hope at least
hey,
4 years, right?
yeah.
At least.
Like I feel like they just have to get it right. And like you said, if they do, they're gonna be filling an FPS void in the market. So
Yes. Oh my gosh. If
um,
they launch with like 128 person, like, or even bigger, man, like just massive battle royales and just massive like Battlefield era like style of gameplay. I mean, you're not gonna see me for weeks. I'll tell you right now. Like I'm gonna be gone.
yeah,
So
very exciting stuff. It's that season, super ready. But I think that was all the articles I had this week to discuss. Um, there was one more thing I wanted to bring up before we close
oh.
out that I forgot to mention in my update, but I did go back. I know I mentioned previously I've been seriously lacking on my humble bundle like collection, like actually like downloading those games and everything. So I had a backlog of like 60 games or so to
Yeah,
download.
that's right.
I went through shotgun downloaded everything in one night, so my library is
Oh
up
my
to date.
gosh.
Um, and I have a lot of other games to check out now, which is exciting. So
Well, let me ask you this. What game are you most excited to play?
I saw the Mass Effect Legacy collection or whatever that was like one of the first ones that stood out to me because I've been wanting to try Mass Effect. So that collection is now sitting in my Origin account because I was actually Origin DRM and not Steam. so
Oh
um,
jeez.
so yeah, I'd have to boot up Origin, but I think it'd be worth it for some to finally check out Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So
You gonna do some recording? I
yeah,
miss the game, like
yeah,
the video breakdowns, man.
yeah. Who knows, man? I might. I definitely want to like I need an excuse to get back into streaming and like just like this reminded me of how many like backlog of just like not only like AAA titles but just like indie titles I can dig through. So
Yeah.
definitely plenty to play. So
Yeah,
those
it's perfect to do on stream too, because you can like have natural reactions. You can have like a community member come by and like also be a part of it, and then you can edit the VOD and then turn it into a YouTube video.
content, baby, nothing but
Content, nothing but the content. Speaking of content, if you guys want to check us out, we're on YouTube and all platforms, and we're on Discord. All the links are in the description, so definitely come join us. Come check us out.
them for sure.
Say what's up. If Do you have anything else to add? I think we pretty much covered everything.
Don't think so. I think that was it this week.
Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I'm repping Counter Logic Gaming to anybody that stayed in this long and had no idea what shirt I was wearing.
There
This
you
thing
go.
looks totally sick on the webcam.
I will say also though, I do have Sentinels merch on the way. I should be getting it
Oh,
early next week. So
so
be on the
that's
lookout
what you're
for
wearing next week?
yeah, be on the lookout for a nice red Sentinel shirt next week.
Oh yeah, you got the red one. I got the
Yeah.
black one. I think the majority of my gear is all black except for Team Liquid. I'm gonna wear my Team Liquid next week.
Yes,
It's
sir.
long sleeve, and it was 94 degrees today, so we're turning the AC down low for that.
Oh, dude. Exciting stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Well, I think that pretty much covers up episode 18, right? So thank you all for tuning in. Numbers have been like staying consistent on all the audio platforms, so we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And if these like long podcast episodes are too much for you, we do have a YouTube Shorts page where we cover what we view as like evergreen, like longer content for like longer lasting content in clip format on just segments that we cover. So check
Yeah.
that out.
Or
And
bite-sized stuff, so
yeah,
you know.
yeah, bite size is probably the best way to put it. Less than like 15 minutes typically.
Yeah, typically. So
7 hour. Yeah. So thanks for listening. Episode 18. Michael Anthony out.
KyleHeath out.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening.
KyleHeath out.
Bye.